We begin with the shocking claim from North Korea that it tested a hydrogen bomb. It sent diplomats scrambling, and the U.S. launched planes to verify. But out on the campaign trail, it gave candidates a chance to appear presidential. When the news broke, we were behind the scenes on a 6-day bus tour with one of the GOP frontrunners, Ted Cruz. ABC's Tom Yamas has the story.
Last night, an alarming claim from North Korea. State television announcing they had successfully tested a hydrogen bomb to protect North Korea from warmongers like the U.S. For hours after, the world waited nervously. But finally, after analyzing the shockwaves, the White House calming fears.
The initial analysis is not consistent with the claims the regime has made of a successful hydrogen bomb test.
Today on the campaign trail, the candidates weighing in.
North Korea is a paranoid, isolated nation. When you have a hydrogen bomb, if that's true, you are a threat.
This underscores the gravity of the threats we are facing right now.
We spent the day with Republican candidate Senator Ted Cruz.
Thank you.
Here in Iowa, where the caucuses are just 26 days away. Cruz has spent a lot of time and resources here. And the polling is in his favor. Trump and Cruz are neck and neck, far ahead, with Rubio trailing at 14% and Carson at 10%. But some Republicans worry Cruz is too polarizing, too unwilling to compromise with Congress to win the general election.
How can you be a president and hate the Democrats and hate the culture of Washington so much and be effective?
I don't hate the Democrats. It's Hillary Clinton who describes her, quote, enemies as Republicans. As half of the country she considers her enemies.
We are praying for you.
Thank you very much.
His supporters coming out in droves. Some even moved to tears when they meet him.
You got emotional speaking at Senator Ted Cruz. You're still emotional. Why are you crying?
Because we need such a change in our country.
He's on a 6-day, 28-stop tour of Iowa in an effort to secure every corner of the Hawkeye state.
Talk to me about your momentum in Iowa.
We spent a lot of time just one-on-one asking for the voters' support. People expect to look you in the eyes. You know, there's an old joke in Iowa, are you voting for so-and-so for president? No, I couldn't possibly. I've only met him 5 times.
But nationally, the landscape is different. Trump trumps the competition. Cruz is just at 18%. At one campaign stop, a Cruz supporter wanted answers.
How are you going to convince independents and Democrats to support you when we know the numbers are against us nationwide?
I think the way we do it is, as Reagan said in 1980, you paint in bold colors, not pale pastels.
I really believe it. Getting close to Trump in the polls doesn't come easy or without a fight. On television and in newspapers, Trump questioning if Senator Cruz can even be president since he was born in Canada to an American mother. Trump even suggesting Democrats would have a field day challenging Cruz's presidential eligibility if he gets the nomination.
How do you run against the Democrat, whoever it may be, and you have this hanging over your head if they bring a lawsuit? A lawsuit would take 2-3 years.
He says he's a natural-born citizen because his mother was U.S.-born, a U.S. citizen, and as a result, he's a natural-born citizen.
Well, I hope he's right.
Moments after stepping off his campaign bus this morning, Cruz put it to rest.
The child of a U.S. citizen born abroad is a natural-born citizen.
Donald Trump, a couple weeks ago, talked about your ethnicity and your religion. Now he's talking about, you know, that you were born in Canada, not criticizing it, but saying that you could have problems with that. Why do you think he's doing that?
Oh, look, I'm not going to try to psychoanalyze Donald Trump. You know, my view, if others...
You think he sees you as a threat?
You know, you'd have to ask him that. A lot of folks in the media would love to see Donald and me get in a giant food fight, and I'm certainly not going to engage in that. I hope Donald won't either.
If I'm a Trump supporter in Iowa or anywhere else in the country, why vote for Ted Cruz?
Well, listen, I think my record is stronger than his, and I think my record is stronger than every other Republican candidate running.
Cruz and Trump have certainly played nice so far, even seem to agree on one of the biggest issues of the campaign season, immigration.
What do you do with the 11 million undocumented immigrants to the U.S.? Deport them? They stay here.
You enforce the law. You deport them. We will secure the borders. We'll build a wall. We will triple the Border Patrol. We'll increase 4-fold the fixed-wing and rotary-wing aircraft. We will end sanctuary cities. We'll put in place a strong E-Verify system at the workplace. We will end welfare benefits for those here illegally. We can solve this problem.
Tonight on CNN, Trump saying Cruz's immigration plan sounds very familiar.
He said, and we will build a wall. So now he's taking my idea for the wall. I'm glad he's taking it. I think it's the right thing to do.
So how is Cruz catching up to the Trump train? One of the cornerstones of Cruz's support here in Iowa and around the country is his faith.
We need those prayers desperately.
Cruz is also trying to show voters another side, staying strong with the help of a Fitbit.
Do you go up and down steps? That is awesome.
And making voters laugh with comedy bits, like his impressions. Tonight in Iowa, it was Jerry Maguire.
You had me at hello.
Monday, it was Clint Eastwood.
Make sure to hang him high. Bye-bye. Have fun storming the White House.
He also does a mean Billy Crystal.
You look marvelous.
Not bad.
The 45-year-old Republican candidate graduated from Princeton, then Harvard Law near the top of his class, a champion debater and an actor on stage. Skills that helped him deliver his message to Washington with a twist.
Anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them. Sam, I am.
The night Cruz announced he was running for president last March,
I believe in the power of millions of courageous conservatives rising up.
his Cuban immigrant father waited backstage.
Incredible.
Cruz met his now wife Heidi while on the campaign trail for George W. Bush's 2000 White House run. Married nearly 15 years, they have 2 young daughters, Caroline and Catherine.
It's really been a joy to get out to the States and just meet with thousands and thousands of people who share our values and who are turning out to hear the message of Ted Cruz.
He admits it's hard being away from his family and tries to bring his girls on the road when he can.
What's it like to be away from your daughters when they're so young?
Yeah, it's the hardest part of the campaign. I mean, our girls, Caroline is 7, Catherine's 5. We try to bring the girls on the road as much as we can. They're coming out. They'll be joining us here in Iowa on Friday. When they're on the bus, they're bouncing off the walls. They have fun with it. My 5-year-old Catherine 2 days ago woke me up in my hotel room with my phone ringing that Catherine was FaceTiming me from her iPad.
Do you do this for them? Is that kind of what pushes you because you want the world to be better for them? Because it's tough. I mean, you don't get that time back.
You miss a lot of moments in their lives, but as you noted, that's also why you're doing it. I couldn't look my daughters in the eyes if I had the ability to do something to stop it, to bring America back, and I didn't stand up and lead. And so that's a very big part of why I'm doing this.
A shining city on a hill.
Tonight, Cruz working late into the evening, making his case and trying to convince Republican voters to put their faith in him. For Nightline, Tom Yamas in Storm Lake, Iowa.